Hello, and welcome back to Nuggets. I'm Lee Earl. You know, you've probably noticed it on my shelf back here in previous episodes. Now, this hat didn't cost $1,000, but it is worth, or was worth, more than $1,000 to me. You see, the story begins with a conversation I had with Harry Anderson back when I was working in Phoenix, Arizona, at the resort hotels and making really good money. And Harry would come through town occasionally and be a house guest. And he said, Lee, you really ought to do some shows where you pass the hat. Harry, why in the world would I want to do that? That would be nuts. I'm doing great here, and why take a chance? And he said, trust me. Trust me. So I trusted him, and I booked a couple of shows, basically low-budget, free shows, that places that couldn't otherwise afford my fee. And at that time, they used these 5-pound coffee cans to pass around to collect the take. And I found after a couple of those dates, the coffee cans filled up. So I needed something a little larger. I tried a basket, I tried a bucket, and then I realized I needed something a little more extravagant, and thus the hat. In fact, I became Magic's Mad Hatter. This was great. You see, because when I was working the Sun Belt and that group of RV resorts along the southern United States, where Canadians and northern state occupants driving those expensive RV vehicles come south to enjoy a winter of golf and bingo and boredom, they were a beautiful target for my efforts. So I booked myself across the Sun Belt, created a circuit out of it, actually. And then I passed the hat. And I had bought this beautiful Mad Hatter hat. And I realized that by the time it reached about halfway through the audience, the darn thing was full. And therefore, folks farther along would say, he's made plenty, I don't need to put more in. Well, that was crazy. So I bought 2 more hats. Yes, 2 more, just like this one. And as they passed, they got filled. And there were many, many occasions where I made almost that $1,000 in one set of hat passes. And, 2 or 3 more performances down the road, I'd done very well. And that's the story behind the $1,000 hat. You see, Harry was right. He was right in that whatever ends up in the hat is in direct proportion to the value the audience believes they've received from your show. That is, if you want to find out how good you are, do a Pass the Hat show. Then ask the hat. Think about it. I'm Lee Earl. Come on back.